Nikola freaking Jokic, man. If you don't know the Joker, it's time to get to know him. The Joker, Nikola Jokic, starting center for the Denver Nuggets, one of the two teams left in the mix in the postseason. Facing off against the Heat, if you're not paying attention. We're 3 games into the NBA Finals. And the Nuggets lead the series 2-1, in no small part due to the Joker. But that's not it. He's not just one of the main reasons, or the main reason why his team is having such success in the postseason. Nikola Jokic is actually setting new historic heights, accomplishing never before done feats in the NBA Finals. But let's start at the beginning of the story. Following up Game 2 of the NBA Finals, critics of Jokic were saying that it was his fault his team did not win Game 2 and go up 2-0. And it was due to his low assist numbers. And that's interesting. Now, if you don't know who Jokic is and you've never seen his style of play, you might be wondering, now why on earth would anybody care about the assist numbers for a center in the NBA? Not a crazy notion. But when you see this guy play, you understand it. So that Game 2, where it received criticism for not enough production, essentially. Let me read you the stat line he put up in that Game 2. Keep in mind, his team lost. Nikola Jokic, his stat line was 42 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. 4 assists. Not enough, says the public. Not enough. You have to do more. Even though every single other center in the entire league would be absolutely thrilled to put up that kind of production. And you know it's true. But there's a different bar for Jokic. Okay, fair enough. He's a superstar of the game. Sure. But 42, 11, and 4 doesn't get it done. Okay. I could try to defend him and say, no, that's a great performance, and we should act accordingly. Probably the rest of his team was to blame, would be my thought. But Jokic doesn't want to entertain that. He doesn't care. What's he do instead? In Game 3, he comes out and he makes history. He puts up a historic stat line in Game 3, being the first player ever to put up a stat line of 30 points or more, 20 rebounds or more, and 10 assists or more. His exact stat line was 32, 21, and 10. Couple of blocks too, not for nothing. So don't think that those extra half a dozen assists were some kind of accident. Nikola Jokic heard the public, and he decided to put this team on his back and carry them to a 2-1 lead in the final series. And you know what? I think if he can keep doing things like this team is unstoppable. It does beg the question, did this man get snubbed of an MVP award this season? We brought it up on our podcast earlier in the year. Some think so. Personally, in my humble opinion, I think, yeah, maybe he was overlooked. Maybe he was. Maybe the fact that he's already won 2 weighed into that outcome. And the fact that Joel Embiid hasn't won 1 until this season. On our podcast, somebody said it was the damn bro, take it award. Just take it. Meaning, this is the best chance we're ever going to have to give it to you. even if it means potentially snubbing the Joker. And sure, hey, I know the postseason has nothing to do with the regular season award, but it can sometimes color between the lines and fill in some of those shades of gray on whether or not it feels like we really nailed the MVP selection. And I think nobody would argue if Joel Embiid, whose team was also in the postseason, if he went on to the finals, largely in part of him, and if he put up these kinds of numbers, surely we would say, look, proof is in the pudding. We definitely got the guy. We got it right. We got it right. And I find it hard not to think some of the same thoughts when it comes to Jokic here. But anyway, I don't think Jokic is very concerned with potentially being snubbed for just another MVP award to him. He's probably way more worried about getting his team through this series and putting a ring on his finger, along with all the fingers of his teammates. So I think he's got bigger and better things to worry about. Here's hoping. Go Denver. Go Joker. This has been the Daily Triple. If you'd like to subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll receive a fun, cool story like this from each one of the 3 major sports in the U.S., then I'll drop a link into the video description for that. And make sure to check out our long-form podcast episodes. We do live recordings here on YouTube. Then after the fact, they're posted onto podcast apps. But if you show up for the live recordings, you can win stuff. You can win giveaways. We do giveaways on just about all of our live videos. So the best way to make sure that you get entered into those giveaways is to, first of all, subscribe to the channel, like as many of our videos as possible so that YouTube understands that you're interested in our channel. And probably the biggest single thing you can do is hit the bell icon to get notifications so your phone will tell you exactly when we go live, in which case it's up to you to hop in and jump in the chat. Let us know you're there, and it's just a matter of time before our most ravenous fans win things, because if you jump onto our lives, we give away so much stuff, you're bound to win something sometime. Anyway, I've been Casey, at Niners_fanman on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Follow me. Check out what we've got. This has been the Daily Triple. Thanks for watching, and enjoy another video on the Triple Cross podcast channel. Take care of yourself.